Hey guys, James from SIKKY Manufacturing. Today I'm going to show you a step-by-step installation guide on how you can install our heater hose kit, which basically covers all the hoses other than the main radiator hoses. So pretty simple kit, takes all the guesswork out of doing this install, and it's going to make sure you got everything you need to get your coolant system hooked up the right way the first time. So let's get started. First step on this coolant hose kit is we got to get this fitting installed in the steam vent port that we put in the side of this SIKKY radiator. So we're going to put a little bit of silicone on here or RTV and get this threaded in, and that's what we're going to tee the steam vent port coming off of the cylinder head over to this overflow tank, which is a factory BMW overflow tank. So this is a pipe thread fitting, so you're just going to get it tight and then give it about a quarter turn. Don't over tighten it, you can strip the threads out. Alright, so now we're going to take the 3 1/4-inch hoses that are provided. You got the 2 longer ones and the short one, and install them on this tee. So the 2 long ones are going to go on this side and that side, and this one goes to the radiator. So we're going to move this over to the car and get them installed on the actual, between the radiator and the overflow tank. Alright, so this is the way the 3 hoses lay out in here. Obviously you want to get your clamps installed before you do that. So we're going to take the short one, slide it onto the fitting we installed in the radiator. So now we're going to take one of the longer 2 hoses and hook it up here to this fatter of the 2 nipples that are coming off of this overflow. And then this last one here we're going to route over to the steam vent hard line that's coming off of the LS engine. And don't forget your clamp. And tighten all these clamps up. Make sure you don't over tighten these clamps on all the plastic fittings because they will crush them, and they don't need to be muscled on here. It's already a tight fit in the barb fitting, so it'll hold as it is without getting really crazy on the torque. Alright, so these are the SIKKY Ultra Tight 90 heater core hoses. These were already installed in this installation. We're not going to cover that. I'd highly recommend putting these on before you install the engine because it just makes it a lot easier to get back in there. Worst case, if you already did the install on the engine, you're just going to have to fight them in there, but they will go in, and it definitely makes fitment a lot easier because how tight these are. So we're going to skip past that step and then hook right up to these, as these will be installed with this fitting already in it. All right, so next step is we're going to hook up these lines that go from the back of the thermostat housing to the heater core. So it comes with this big T, this short piece, and then these 2 longer ones. One of these is 2 inches longer than the other, and the needed clamps. So I'm going to show you which one goes where and how to hook that up next. All right, so now we're going to take the longer of the 2 hoses. We're going to go from this port right on the back side of the water pump here, and use the provided clamp, get that in position before you hook up the other side. And then we're going to take this guy and route it up along here and hook it up to this bottom port on these tight 90s that are pre-installed in this particular installation. I'm going to tighten this clamp up. Again, don't ever tighten these. They don't need to be muscled on here. Just get them tight and give them a turn or so to just tighten down and compress the silicone. The barb fitting will do the rest. Same with this, tighten this guy up. So now we're going to take the T and the short piece, and we're going to install this short piece onto the T with the 2 clamps. And then this short piece is going to go on with its orientation towards the front of the car. Just like that. Same thing, tighten these clamps up. Now we're going to take the shorter of the 2 longer hoses and hook this guy up to the other side of the T, and then run this back to the heater core line. Being that this is a 5/8 hose and it's 3/4 T here, it's going to be a little harder to get on the actual T, but if you need to put a little bit of lubrication on there, you can do so to make it a little easier. And then route this up to the upper heater core line. Our last step, we're going to route these however you see fit in your particular install and secure them out of the way. All right, so now we're going to take this other 3/4 hose and go from this T over to the overflow reservoir. So you can route this along the back side of the radiator here and underneath the bracket. All right, so if it makes it a little easier, you can actually clip this reservoir out, take it out, and get a little bit more of a angle because it's a bit of a stretch. But once you get started, it's not too bad to slide on. All right, so using the biggest clamp provided in the kit, we're going to tighten this one up and then pop it back into position. All right, so now we're going to hook this up to the T coming off of the water pump housing. Tighten up the clamp. You're going to want to secure this out of the way. You can hook it up to this radiator line or whatever you want to as far as securing it, but just make sure it's not contacting anything that's moving. All right, so that's a wrap on the step-by-step install guide for the cooling hose kit. Pretty basic install, great way to do a really clean and simple installation on these hoses and takes all the guesswork out of it. So to learn more about these products and the other stuff we make for LS Swapping Your Car, be sure to log on to SIKKY.com or get in touch with one of our knowledgeable sales reps today.